for being here. Mr. Stretch, I want to ask you, and it relates to all this in the following way, but let me work there. Guo Wenwei is a whistleblower and a critic of the Chinese government, and his Facebook account was blocked, and Facebook has informed us, and it's not publicly, that he violated terms of service. I think he published personal identifying information about individuals, and that violated the terms of service. So, and I understand that argument. My question, what I want to be clear is, was there any pressure from the Chinese government to block his account?
No, Senator. We reviewed a report on that account and analyzed it through regular channels using our regular procedures. The blocking was not of the account in its entirety, but I believe was of specific posts that violated our policy.
So you can testify today that you did not come under pressure from the Chinese government or any of its representatives or people working for them to block his account or to block whatever it is you blocked?
I want to make sure I'm being precise and clear. We did receive a report from representatives of the Chinese government about the account. We analyzed that report as we would any other and took action solely based on our policies.
Facebook is not allowed to operate in China. Is that correct?
That's correct. Our consumer services are blocked in China. That's correct.
Okay. There have been press reports that Facebook may have potentially developed software to suppress posts from appearing in people's news feeds in specific geographic areas. And the speculation is it's being done for the purposes of getting into the Chinese market. Is that accurate? Has Facebook developed software to suppress posts from appearing in people's news feeds in specific geographic areas?
Senator, as you know, we are blocked in China, so any software we have is certainly not operative there. We do have many instances where we have content reported to us from foreign governments that is illegal under the laws of those governments. So a great example of this is Holocaust denial in Germany, for example. And our position with respect to reports like that is if there is content that's visible in a country that violates local law and we're on specific notice of that content, we deploy what we call geo-blocking or IP blocking so that the content will not be visible in that country, but remains available on the service.
So, for example, criticizing a government is illegal in that country, you have the capability to block them from criticizing the government and thereby gaining entry into that country and being allowed to operate.
We have the capability to ensure that our service complies with local law. That's accurate. We take a very nuanced approach to reports of illegal content. We believe our mission is to enable people to share and connect, and we believe that political expression is at the core of what we provide. And so
what if political expression is illegal in the country?
So in the vast majority of cases where we are on notice of locally illegal content, it has nothing to do with political expression. It's things like blasphemy in parts of the world that are that prohibit blasphemy.
Yeah. We could probably do a whole hearing on that topic, but here's why that's related to what we're talking about today. Terms of service is what the reason why he was knocked off. All of you have terms of service. Is a foreign influence campaign a violation of the terms of service of any of the three companies represented here today? If you can prove that someone is doing it on behalf of a foreign government seeking to interfere in an election, does that violate your terms of service? Any of the three companies, in terms of being able to operate or post things, and particularly Twitter and Facebook?
Yeah, generally would violate a number. We don't have state-sponsored manipulation of elections as one of our rules, but generally the other types of rules like inflammatory ads content would take down most of these posts. So we don't outright ban it. But
well, let me ask you this. I've read that you can buy a bot army from between $45 to $100. Is buying and if you can prove that someone's bought up and put together a bot army, would that be a violation of terms of service?
Those would violate our terms of service around the use of automated accounts, and those are the things that we're catching every day. We're blocking 450,000 suspicious logins a day. We're challenging 4 million accounts every week to make sure that they're actually real people. But we have terms of service around.
I didn't get an answer on the face. Is that a violation of terms of service to buy for a foreign influence campaign or to put together a bunch of fake ads and put them together?
That campaign violates our terms and our policies in a number of ways, and we do not permit automated means for accessing the site. So using the bots likewise would be a violation.
Okay, what about, you said, so if someone goes on and posts social security number and date of birth of an individual, that's a violation of terms of service, correct?
For Facebook, it is, yes.
I imagine for
It is,
all the
of
platforms.
course.
What about if someone goes online and posts classified information illegally obtained that threatens the lives of individuals or methods or potentially disrupts the ability to disrupt a plot that can endanger the lives of people? Is posting that online or posting that in one of your platforms a violation of terms of service? It happens sometimes. I don't know if you're aware of it, but they...
Yeah, we work with law enforcement all the time on matters like that and balance free speech rights, obviously, with those of, obviously, an imminent threat we would take very seriously and act on right away.
I guess my point is personal identifying information is illegal to post it, right? It threatens someone's identity. It's also illegal to steal and reveal classified information. And I'm just curious if that's also a violation of terms of service, since the fact it could have real-life implications on individuals who could be compromised because of that release. Do we have any evidence that Russian accounts uploaded U.S. voter registration data and used it in conjunction with custom audiences to target specific voters by name? Do any of you have any information that registered voter data was uploaded and used to customized advertising or messaging to individual voters?
We haven't seen evidence of that so far.
The same is true for Facebook.
And my last question is, the scope of this was not limited to 2016 or even the presidential race. As an example, I think with the help of some of the companies here, we've identified Being Patriotic, LGBT United, United Muslims of America, Stop AI, Heart of Texas, all were used to attack my campaign during the primary. What's interesting, though, is on the 3rd of July and on the 8th of August, after the primary, but when I chose to run for re-election, one of those, LGBT United, attacked again. So my point being, these operations, while we're talking about the 2016 presidential race, they're not limited to 2016, and they were not limited to the presidential race, and they continue to this day. They're much more widespread than one election. It is about our general political climate. Is that correct?
I would certainly agree with that statement, Senator.
Okay. Thank you.
Senator Wyden.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the